All right. Hey everyone, it's Matt. I'm here in Predator Hunting Grounds. Earlier today I showed off the Neca Alpha Predator figure that's based on the original design that Jean-Claude Van Damme wore before he left production. And the figure comes with a code for the Alpha Predator skin, which once redeemed gives you that cosmetic look in Predator Hunting Grounds. So there we have it right there on our menu. Whatever skin you have set up as your default is going to be displayed. You also see my default human, which I have based on good old Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes with a headset. That's okay. Alright, so we're going to go through this and take a quick look at all that our Alpha Predator skin has to offer in Predator Hunting Grounds. Alright, so full disclosure, I am not a very good predator. Don't tell my fellows in the tribe that. So, I've unlocked several of the different classes, I guess. That's something you unlock as you go along. This particular build that I have here is the Berserker. He's the tough bad boy. And then I've got a ranged Lady Predator. She's my Huntress. And then we have the Alpha setup. So if we take a look here, actually let me just go like this. Go to the Alpha, and if we were to change the class, we'll see down at the bottom center the stats for each of the characters, and the Alpha Predator and the Hunter are the same. So stats wise, I think the Alpha Predator is just a reskin of the Hunter. Scout is kind of a glass cannon, looks like. Or can be if you set it up like that, right? He moves fast, not a lot of health. Berserker has a bunch of health and can, I guess, carry a bunch of gear. From what I understand, the Berserker is the one to be. I actually haven't played with him too much, but the Hunter is the one you start off with. Alright, so let's take a look here. Also, you're going to notice that you have the Alpha Sickle. The Alpha Sickle is actually a little weapon, or a big weapon, I guess you'd say, that the figure comes with. So that's neat. It's neat to see that the game actually includes this as well. Once wielded by the legendary Alpha Predator, the Sickle was used in the uprising of the Hish against their cruel Amengi rulers thousands of years ago. I absolutely adore the fact that we're getting more of the lore. I don't know of where any of this lore was previously stated. Maybe there's a book about this. I'm not really quite sure. Anyway, on that note, real fast, I wanted to also read this. There was a one sheet included in the figure, with the figure, that expands on the story that's presented on the back of the box. And it's really cool here, so I'm going to read this off real fast. Thousands of years ago, on a planet far from Earth, ancient Yautja ancestors known as the Hishkuten, the Hish, were invaded by the Amengi, a race of alien insectoids. The Amengi were a ruthless nomadic civilization who, having exhausted their own world's resources in pursuit of technological ambitions, would go from planet to planet like a swarm, consuming anything they had need for and ruling what was left. In these early days, the Hish were generally smaller and more animal-like in nature than their contemporary predator descendants. Lacking the necessary strength and intelligence to withstand such an advanced foreign attack, the natives were easily overtaken and would be enslaved for many centuries. Excuse me. The Amengi were cruel rulers, using the primitive Hish for slave labor, food, experiments, and eventually entertainment in the form of game hunting and fighting competitions. Most notable were the fights, which would go on to become especially popular among the invaders. Some combatants even gained followings, and it wasn't long until wagers were set on the matches. Gambling was a regular obsession among the upper tier of Amengi society, and with more at stake, larger members of the Hish species were sought out, chemically enhanced and trained to become effective tools for earning their owners' profit and power. Well into the Amengi occupation, one of the largest and most fierce Hish fighters emerged, one like nothing ever seen before. Once matured, he commanded respect and fear from even his own captors. Known as Kyle, a term meaning rage, this imposing young beast was not only physically impressive for his species, but was also unusually intelligent. Careful to appear loyal, Kale secretly dedicated himself to regaining the freedom of his people and gradually allied himself with other powerful slaves throughout the established territories. Meanwhile, the Amengi rulers grew so rich and arrogant that they failed to realize the compromising position they created for themselves. When the time was right, Kale, aided by his chosen tribe, orchestrated a strategic and bloody insurrection. With their military soft and unchallenged for centuries, the Amengi leadership was usurped within days as they faced the fury of countless oppressed Hish generations manifested in these brave warriors. Despite the Amengi's advanced technology and tough exoskeletons, no defense proved effective enough against the monsters they created. A revolution took place and the occupation was savagely dispatched. When the initial slaughter was over, Kale took one of the larger carcasses, carved off the external shell, and created body armor for himself, wearing his enemy as a trophy. The others followed suit, and a true hunting tribe was formed. These were the first predators. Shortly thereafter, the remaining Amengi would be hunted down and either forced into slavery or executed. Their technology, however, would be embraced by the natives and expanded upon for generations, ultimately leading to a perfect balance between the scientific and the natural aspects of the Hish Yautja culture. Yautja history forever honors this noble tale of Kale, the first hunter, forever known as the Alpha Predator. Alright, so that was a lot of me talking. I just realized it's going to take too long for me to actually play with this guy, so I might actually do a different video showing the gameplay, but that at least shows you what he looks like. You know. So, thanks for checking that out. And maybe I'll see you in another video. Alright, bye.